Well, our special guest today is one of New Zealand's great sporting champions. He's won 5 World Olympic rowing titles and Olympic Games rowing gold medal, and twice he's been part of the America's Cup winning Emirates Team New Zealand on-water yachting crew. Joe Sullivan, how are you, mate? It's bloody good to talk to you. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's good. Always good to chat to you, John. Doing bloody well, thank you.
Good on you. Good on you. I see you're on an away trip with Jordan. You've shared the kids for a couple of days.
Yeah, ditched the kids with mum and dad. We're spending some time down in Marlborough and just thought we'd shoot down to Christchurch for the night and catch up with some friends.
Good stuff. And so, what are you doing at the moment? You were telling me before you're trialling for Team New Zealand, so you don't actually retain your place. You've got to earn it each time, do you?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess it's just to keep us on our toes and keep us fit. But yeah, I'm just part of a small training group working towards a fitness test in December. And I guess there'll be an ongoing trial from there to get a position back on the boat. But I kind of didn't expect it. I moved away from Auckland last year and moved down to the Bay of Plenty. But with the way the boats are going, the next 2 test boats will be all battery powered and won't need grinders. So for our grinding role, we won't actually be needed till late next year. So it's quite a good opportunity for me to train kind of on my own, in my own area, and kind of have good family time as well. But yeah, still keep myself fit and primed, ready for this next event.
Yeah, so what does the fitness test involve?
We don't actually know yet.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, I just know it'll hurt, so just making sure I'm prepared to be able to push through that pain and be in the best position possible, really.
I mean, it's amazing you've transformed from rowing to sailing so successfully, and when you did that twice, you've had to reinvent yourself. You did the cycle grinding and then the traditional arm stuff.
Yeah.
Which was the toughest? Which was the hardest to adapt to?
I probably found the actual grinding this time harder because we were actually sitting down grinding, so it wasn't a very comfortable position and it wasn't as powerful as we could be, but it was way more aero being able to sit down. But the biking's kind of a whole different ball game, really. You're absolutely thrashing yourself the whole time, and because your legs are so much stronger and you can flush that lactate, you can just keep going for so much longer. With your arms, you do your big piece and you kind of just cooked, and you got to slowly readjust back and get yourself back. But yeah, the legs, you can just keep going and going and going. So yeah, I quite like it. And this following campaign, we're back on the bike. So yeah.
Oh, so it'll be the cycle grinders again?
Yeah, so we're
fantastic.
back on the cyclors.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I love it.
Which is working out quite well for my training on my own as well. Just getting out and doing a lot of bike riding and gym work and stuff. So yeah, it all works out quite well.
How cool is it being in Barcelona? I bet you're wrapped. What a fantastic venue.
Yeah, I would have loved it to be in New Zealand, and I can say pretty much across the board, everyone in the team would have loved it to be here in New Zealand, but this current climate is just too difficult. The America's Cup requires a lot of funding and a lot of money to develop these boats and keep the technology pumping and to have really just the best designers possible. The Cup's almost won or lost in the design room before we even build a boat. So the money involved in keeping those guys employed is pretty impressive. So it's unfortunate that we can't have it in New Zealand, but I think Barcelona will be a lot of fun. And the goal is always to make it stay in New Zealand. So the Cup is still New Zealand's Cup, and the goal would be to have it back in New Zealand again at some point.
It sounds as though it'll be very spectator friendly too, Joe, pretty close to the beach, so that'll add another dimension to it for you.
Yeah, it'll definitely be exciting, and kind of competing anywhere in Europe or overseas is always pretty special, and they kind of get behind their events and stuff as much as New Zealand does. So it'll be a cool atmosphere either way. And by the sounds of it, a lot of Kiwis are going to be coming over to watch it themselves So that'll be cool as well. It's always awesome having a New Zealand supporting crew when you're over the other side of the world. So I've just got to make sure I'm on the bloody boat to be part of it all.
I'm sure you will be. I'm sure you won't let yourself down there. But what about, are most of the crew retained? You know, obviously the two skippers.
Yeah, so I think Pete and Blair have signed up again. I'm not actually sure. But yeah, the main sailing crew, the key roles are pretty much tied up again, which is really cool. And then we've got, I can't even think of his name. We've got some other key people involved. So yeah, it's going to be really cool. Really deep base of knowledge and talent. So yeah, it'll be awesome. We've got Nathan Outridge, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So he's signed up as well. So him and Pete work really well together, and between the two of them, it's going to be a pretty unstoppable package, I reckon.
Yeah, well, certainly fingers crossed it is. So how do Blair Tuke and Peter Burling, how do they work together? Have they got a dual role, or is one the boss or on the boat?
I think they're just a good combination. They've been sailing together for so long that they just understand and trust each other in the roles that they have. So, yeah, Pete's definitely the skipper side of it, but Blair's very intuitive with kind of keeping everything running and making sure Pete's getting supported as best as possible. So, yeah, they're a pretty a good package together and dynamic duo. But, yeah, the team just gets added to. Like, we've got Andy Maloney and Josh Jr. and now Nathan Outridge and Glenn Ashby. Like, these are some of the top sailing minds in the world right now. So, yeah, it's a pretty awesome team to be a part of.
Glenn Ashby's warming up by having a crack at the land speed yachting record. He's got to beat 209 kilometres an hour in the yacht Horonuku, it's named, and imagine going that fast on a yacht.
Yeah. I think it's been a little dream of his for a long time. And I guess this time he really saw the opportunity in keeping a lot of the design team working between the cups. Normally between cups, it's kind of, everyone kind of loses their job and the team has to kind of rebuild again. But this was a perfect opportunity to keep all those key designers working on a really awesome project and something that's going to be pretty exciting to watch. From the small videos I've seen of them at Whenuapai, it looks like it's definitely got some power behind it. And just the short runs that they were doing, it looked like it could wick up pretty hard. So I'm pretty sure they're really excited to get it out on the flats.
Yeah, well,
over in Aussie and see what it can do.
Yeah, I think in the outback of South Australia, I think on the salt lakes there, is he pretty confident he can crack that record?
Oh, yeah, shit, yeah. There would be no way they would be doing it if they didn't think they could do it.
No.
And I don't think they're just going to crack it. I think they're going to go try smash it. So, yeah, it'll be cool to see. They were on the runway, and it was a pretty tight little course. When the land yacht's getting fully worked up, it's getting pushed kind of sideways. So it'll be cool to see it in a big open wide area and let them really, really power it right up. So, yeah, it'll be awesome to watch. I wish I was going over.
Yeah, God, that'll be something to watch, all right. They're like rocket ships now, those boats, aren't they? I mean, the on-water ones that you'll be sailing in Bermuda. Are you expecting that to go quite a bit faster than, not Bermuda, I mean Barcelona. Are you expecting that to go faster than the last time?
Getting faster than what they're going now is definitely going to happen, but when we're cracking the 50 knot range, there's a whole nother dynamic of fluid dynamics and things that have to be overcome. When you start getting over 50 knots, the water around the foil, as it goes through it, actually starts boiling.
Oh, and really?
It's very easy for it to lose traction and grip. So, yeah, I would hate to even try to explain what the designers are coming up with the new foils and things like that. So, yeah, they will be faster, but I think the biggest thing they're going to do is lighten the boat up, reduce the crew, so the boat will actually be able to sail in bigger wind ranges. So it'll be able to get up in lighter winds and sail and hire wins as well. So I think that'll be really important in the future, really, when you're getting a close to 3.5 ton boat out in 4 to 5 knots. It's pretty spectacular, and then all of a sudden you're going from 3 knots to 35 knots, and then upwards from there. So yeah, I would hate to try to even do it justice and explain how it works, but
yeah, those guys who design them are just geniuses, aren't they?
It's way above my pay grade.
Yeah, same here. God, it must be exhilarating being on them. Do you ever get a chance to sort of peer over the top when you're just about wrecking yourself physically trying to keep the thing going? Do you ever get to experience what it is like on it, going full speed?
Not when it's really fully wigged up. We're definitely head down, trying to keep the power there, because Pete needs every bit of adjustments that he can get when we're in that danger zone. So it's definitely not the time to stick your head up and have a look around. But yeah, when we tow out to the race course and stuff like that, and you kind of get to look over the side and see the foils working and how it all kind of runs, it's pretty spectacular, and it's almost like mind-boggling. Like, foiling boats have always been around, but to see something like the last AC-75, like if you thought about that 20 years ago, people would have thought you were like just having a laugh. But like,
yeah,
even before we sailed it for the first time, like even there were people in the team that were like, "Is this actually going to work?" Like people were questioning, "The hell have we done?" But when it slipped out of the water for the first time and came up onto the foils, it was definitely spectacular.
Yeah, amazing. Grant Dalton, you've got to admire him, don't you? I mean, he seems to me to be a pretty hard-nosed sort of character. You wouldn't want to cross him, I don't think. But by geez, he's done some amazing work for New Zealand and for the team. I've got a lot of admiration for him.
Yeah, he's one of those characters you either love and hate.
Yeah,
love or hate, and he couldn't care either way. But he's focused on what he wants and what he needs to keep the team together and keep it developing, and to be the best team that it can be. So it must have been a bloody hard decision to know that they had to take it away from New Zealand and offshore to keep the cup alive, and to give ourselves the best chance of actually retaining it, because to win it once and then to win it twice is pretty unbelievable, and to retain it after a third one, like it hasn't been done in the recent kind of era of the America's Cup. So yeah, we're fighting against billionaires as a small country with just multiple sponsors. So we punch well above our weight, and yeah. Like, we get criticised a lot, but if you saw what was going on behind the scenes to keep this team running, you would be in awe of what those guys can actually do. Yeah.
Oh, I am in awe. I haven't got half a clue what goes on behind the scenes, but I can just imagine. I watched Dalton in action, and he seems to be very single-minded and so dedicated. I mean, he's obviously dedicated his life to the project.
Yeah, and he's just one of many in the head office that keep the team alive and keep people on the payroll. Ultimately, they would love to keep everyone paid all year round between all campaigns, but it's just not possible. So, yeah, I would hate to be in their position, having to let people go or hire new people and keep a team like that running. It would be a dream to be like a Formula One team and have that budget year round and the development going so highly like that, but yeah, it could be in the pipeworks. I guess that's what the America's Cup is. It's the on-water version of the Formula One kind of circuit. So yeah, it's the pinnacle in sailing, and it's cool to be a part of.
Well, it is. It definitely is. And I think some of the Formula One teams playing a part in the other designs around the world, aren't they?
Yeah, they definitely are. So you've got Red Bull Racing and then Ineos as well, who are Mercedes. So yeah, I don't know what we're working on. It would be cool to get one of those teams on board with us, but yeah, it's not an easy task. But yeah, it's just exciting to see what the development can be. Having those big technology kind of teams on board, it's going to be a hard challenge, that's for sure.
Yeah. But Do you ever get a chance every now and then, maybe you're out on the bike, to sort of reflect a little bit on what you achieved in rowing? Because I suppose, you're full on again with other projects and your young family with two beautiful kids and Jordan, your wife, so that no doubt takes a lot of your time. But do you ever sometimes just sort of sit down and have a beer and think, geez, that was pretty cool, that?
Yeah, sometimes it kind of comes every now and then. You kind of have the realization that what I've done is pretty spectacular, or it's been an amazing career. And it was kind of on reflecting the other day with our good friend Dave Williamson coming down really ill, and kind of realizing just the people that were involved to get me to where I was, to where I am, has been pretty incredible. Like, people talk about the fork in the road, but there were some massive defining points in my life that definitely turned it in one direction away from the other. So yeah, I am grateful for what I've been able to achieve, and I don't take it lightly, and I don't kind of take it for granted either. But I still just feel like a normal person. I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm more special than anyone else, and I've just had these opportunities and taken them when they've come to me, and I'm just grateful for the people that have been involved and led me and helped me kind of guide my path, really.
So what is it? I've often wondered. I've watched a lot of elite sportsmen in different codes, and I've always tried to figure out the difference between someone maybe who makes an Olympic final. They might make 2 or 3 finals. They don't win a medal. Is there an ingredient that you need to punch through and be a winner rather than just in the final or just at the Olympics? How do you? Can you nail it? Can you nail anything?
I don't know.
I'd love to know.
I would love to know too, but I guess it's maybe even understanding the hard work that you put in and reflecting on what you've actually done, and give yourself that belief that all that hard work that you've put in is enough. I think when you get to the end of an Olympic final and you're all pushing for that last spot, you've just got to believe in yourself that you've done enough to get the job done, and just let it kind of happen. But it's very easy to talk yourself out of it and give yourself a reason why you didn't achieve or why you couldn't go any further. But yeah, sometimes you just have to suck it up and push through that pain and realize it's not forever, and you just got to do it. So
yeah, because
I don't know. I think a lot of it comes down to just the top 2 inches and being resilient. I think, like for me, the challenges I've been through and the disappointment I've had and the struggles to get to where I was definitely helped. The belief and the knowledge that I could do it when I needed to. And yeah, we had a function the other day with Emma Twigg, talking with the Inspire Foundation in Blenheim, and she's been to 4 Olympics, and this
she's
was
amazing.
the last one, and she finally cracked it. And kind of listening to her, like, she's always had the talent to do it, but she always kind of restricted herself or questioned her ability right at that last point, and it kind of just throws you into a spiral. But she finally got to that point in resilience. She's done it so many times. She's here for the job. She had it all right. She had the right people around her, and yeah, there was no question about what she could do, and she just went out there and did it finally. So yeah, it was awesome to see, and I can't even imagine the resilience for her, like, through all those careers and so many disappointments at the Olympics, to be able to keep turning up and keep doing it. So
yeah, that's a wonderful story. So it's a wonderful story, Emma's one. But so self-beliefs are huge, isn't it? I mean, if you don't believe in yourself, it's going to be pretty hard.
Yeah. Or even, not so much even the self-belief, but just believing in the people that are supporting you. Like, they're all there for the right reason. No one wants you to fail. Everyone's there to help you, and you've got to pick and choose what you take from people. Yeah, everyone's out for the common goal, which is to support you get to the Olympics and succeed. So yeah, when you win, they win, and it's just a fantastic thing to be a part of.
Yeah, well, you certainly brought a lot of joy to a lot of people, which You know, you got voted, I think you and Nathan Cohen were voted, you won was it the Halberg Award for the most popular sporting event the year you won the gold medal in London?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I think we got the sporting moment of the decade, which was cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty humbling.
That's pretty. Do you remember the last couple of 100 metres? That I do. I was in the Oxley pub in Picton, going berserk. Do you remember it? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember nearly every stroke of it. It was just in a world of hurt, but I think just the way we trained leading into the Olympics, we used to do so many 500-metre pieces, and we kind of realised, like, every time we did it, we never, like, you'd be fast and you'd be quick right at the start, and then you get slowly worse and worse and worse. And by the fifth or sixth one that you're doing, you kind of could do the same thing over and over and over. We weren't getting worse and worse and worse. We were kind of just baselining after our peaks. So it was kind of just the knowledge that no matter how much pain we were in and how much we were hurting, as soon as we crossed that 500-metre mark, that's all we had to do. We just had to get that last 500 metres out of the way. And I think just knowing how much we'd been able to hurt ourselves in training, like if you do all the work in training, then the racing becomes easier. And it doesn't actually become easier, but you just understand that the hurt is not going to be there forever, and you can push through it. So it was more about making no mistakes and making sure that we were doing the best we could do in our race. We'd lost focus on pretty much everyone else, and we were just trying to do our best race and get to the finish line as fast as we could get our boat. So at the end of the day, no one else mattered, and we were just doing our best performance possible. Yeah,
I think that showed in your tactics. I think at one stage, about the halfway mark, you were last, but not by a lot. You were still in touch.
Yeah, we weren't really in touch. We were about 3 seconds behind, which is quite a lot in a rowing race. But yeah, I think because people knew we were sprinters towards the end, they were trying to get that buffer on us. But getting that buffer on us really hurt them, so they had to pay for it somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
So sticking to our game plan really worked out for us.
Yeah, marvellous. Of course, life's changed for you big time since I last saw you. You're married to Jordan and two beautiful kids, Amelia and Izzy, so life's pretty good.
Yeah, whole new ballpark of challenges. Sport has taught me a lot of patience and a lot of resilience, and I'm definitely putting that into practice with children. But as much as they challenge me and kind of push me, it's always amazing to see kind of the resilience they have and the stubbornness that's involved in their little minds already. And it kind of makes, as annoying as it is, it also makes me proud that they're so strong-minded. Definitely got a challenge on my hands with those two.
You're fantastic.
But absolutely love it, and I'll try just be the best supportive father I can be to them. So whatever they choose to do, I think they'll be amazing at it.
Yeah, fantastic, Joey. Lovely to talk to you, mate, and lovely to meet Jordan as well.
Yeah.
Wish you all the very best for your trial coming up. When is your trial for the America's Cup?
I think it's going to be in December. Nothing's going to set in stone, but yeah, that's kind of the area I'm pushing for at the moment to make sure I'm in good shape for that, and that I've still got a lot left in the tank to keep pushing over the next 2 years. So, yeah, it's always bloody good to talk to you, John, and I'm always grateful for the support you put in for me as well. So, thank you.
I got probably more fun than you did out of it. I still do.
I'm glad. You've done a lot of work for me, so thank you.
It was a lot of fun, Joe. Pleasure. All right, mate. Great to talk to you. And as I say, I'll be in touch, and we'll chat sometime soon.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks,
Cheers,
mate. Awesome.